Have you ever walked into a home and felt an inexplicable sense of peace, and walked into another and felt something heavy, something pressing down on the air itself? That's not your imagination. There is something that can make that difference, something that protects, something that transforms, something that can quietly change the destiny of a household. But here's the part almost nobody tells you. Simply owning a crucifix and hanging it on a wall is not enough. If it isn't honored the right way, it may not be doing anything for your home at all. And in some cases, people feel like the opposite is happening. Today, we're going to walk through what Padre Pio taught about the true power of the crucifix in the home, a message that, according to those who followed his teachings, could change the direction of your household and your family for good. If you believe in the protective power of faith in the home, drop a comment below and let others know. That one small act, showing up, paying attention, is often the first step toward real change. According to accounts of his teaching, Padre Pio didn't see the crucifix as decoration. He described it as something closer to a spiritual checkpoint, a place where protection is established, not just displayed. Think of your house as a structure with entry points, both physical and spiritual. Every doorway, every room, is either a point of protection or a point of vulnerability. When the crucifix is approached with real faith and treated with real intention, it becomes, in this teaching, a source of protection strong enough to stand between your household and the problems trying to find their way in. Here's the catch, though. A lot of people have a crucifix in their home and aren't receiving any of this. Why? Because where you put it, how you treat it, and whether you ever actually engage with it all matter. Padre Pio spent considerable time teaching his closest followers exactly this, because he believed the difficult times ahead would call for exactly this kind of protection at home. He put it simply, the crucifix isn't just a symbol, it's a key. And today, the goal is to explain how that key is meant to be used, 3 powers, according to the teaching. The first is protection. When a crucifix is present with the right faith and the right intention behind it, it's said to form a kind of spiritual barrier, a shield that negative forces can't get through. The second is healing. Padre Pio taught that praying in front of the crucifix with sincere faith opens a channel, not just for physical healing, but emotional and spiritual healing too. Every time you look at it with real faith, you open that channel a little wider. The third, and maybe the most significant, is transformation. The teaching holds that the crucifix can shift the entire atmosphere of a home, conflict into peace, scarcity into abundance, sickness into wellness. But none of this switches on automatically. It takes faith, the right placement, and consistency. A key is only useful if you know how to turn it. Padre Pio, according to this teaching, pointed to several habits that quietly get in the way, treating it as decoration. A crucifix gathering dust in a forgotten corner isn't being honored, and that disrespect, even unintentional, closes off the protection it could offer. Poor placement. Some people hang it too high to really see, or in a room that's barely used. The teaching is clear. It should be somewhere the family actually sees and engages with regularly, skipping the blessing. An unblessed crucifix in this view is like an unturned key, present but inactive. Having it blessed by a priest is considered an essential step, going through the motions without faith. Faith is described as the fuel. Without it, even the most beautiful crucifix won't fully activate its protective power, losing the daily connection. Days can pass without a glance, a prayer, an acknowledgement. The teaching holds that its power is strengthened through daily attention, letting it fall into disrepair. A broken or badly worn crucifix should be replaced, not because of cost, but out of respect for what it represents, mixing it with incompatible practices. The crucifix, in this tradition, stands on its own. It isn't meant to be combined with unrelated objects or rituals. Clean it with intention, not just dust it off. Confirm it's been blessed. Your local parish can help if you're unsure. Move it to a place where it's genuinely seen and part of daily life. And build a small, consistent ritual around it. Even something as simple as making the sign of the cross each time you walk past. According to this teaching, 5 places in the home matter most. The main entrance, described as a filter for everything that tries to come through your door, seen and unseen. The main bedroom, placed facing the bed, since we're considered most spiritually vulnerable while we sleep. The living room, the heart of the home, where the crucifix is said to help soften tension between family members and visitors alike. The kitchen, tied to the blessing of food, and by extension, abundance in the home, a prayer corner or home altar if you have one, described as a place where prayer becomes more focused and effective. As for placement itself, at eye level, never so high it goes unnoticed, hung straight, not tilted, facing east if possible toward the sunrise, and size, the teaching insists, matters far less than sincerity. A small crucifix regarded with real faith outweighs a large one treated with indifference. The teaching describes transformation unfolding on 3 levels. Spiritually, the shift is often the first thing people notice. A lighter feeling in the home, almost from day one, something visitors sense, even without knowing why. Within the family, arguments are said to ease, communication improves, and relationships between spouses, between parents and children, tend to grow steadier materially. The claim isn't that money appears out of nowhere, but that opportunities start to open, debts find ways of resolving, and a general sense of forward movement returns. None of this, the teaching stresses, happens overnight. It's described as a process, like planting a seed that needs time before it bears fruit. The earliest signs tend to be subtle. Sleeping a little better, feeling calmer walking through the door, worries that don't weigh quite as heavily, daily and weekly practices, a quiet morning greeting to the crucifix upon waking, a brief pause and the sign of the cross whenever you pass it during the day. A moment of prayer around 3 in the afternoon, said to be a spiritually significant hour. At night, mentally setting down the day's worries in front of it before sleep. A weekly family gathering, Sundays are suggested, for a short shared prayer, lighting a candle before it during moments of real tension or difficulty. A brief prayer of gratitude whenever money comes in or bills get paid. A monthly unhurried cleaning of the crucifix itself, extra time in front of it when someone in the family is unwell. Alongside, not instead of proper medical care, a quick sign of the cross before a family member heads out the door, teaching children to greet it morning and night. A moment of thanks before it whenever good news arrives. The teaching's emphasis throughout is on consistency over complexity. A small, steady practice done daily is considered far more meaningful than an elaborate ritual done occasionally. Households that follow this practice, according to the teaching, tend to describe a calmer, lighter atmosphere that visitors notice, fewer domestic conflicts and smoother communication, fewer accidents and mishaps around the house, steadier health and quicker recovery when illness does occur, more stability in finances and work, deeper, more restful sleep, especially for children, and an overall sense of manageable calm even when life gets difficult. If any of this resonated with you, consider it an invitation rather than a rule. Take a look at where the crucifix sits in your own home if you have one. If you don't, this might be the moment to get one. It doesn't need to be expensive. What matters in this teaching is the sincerity behind it. And if you already have one, maybe today's the day you renew your attention to it. As the teaching goes, a home can become a place of peace, protection, and quiet grace when the crucifix within it is genuinely honored. And that possibility starts with something as small as a glance, a pause, a moment of real attention today.